CBSE Board, Standard 6, A Pact with the Sun. Chapter 1, A Tale of Two Birds. There once lived a bird and her two newborn babies in a forest. They had a nest in a tall shady tree, and there the mother bird took care of her little ones day and night. One day there was a big storm. There was thunder, lightning, and rain, and the wind blew down many trees. The tall tree in which the birds live also came down. A big heavy branch hit the nest and killed the bird. Fortunately for the baby birds, the strong wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. One of them came down near a cave where a gang of robbers lived. The other landed outside a rishi's ashram a little distance away. Days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day, the king of the country came to the forest to hunt. He saw a deer and rode after it. It ran deep into the forest, followed by the king. Soon, the king lost his way and didn't know where he was. He rode on for a long time till he came to the other side of the forest. Very tired by now, he got off his horse and sat down under a tree that stood near a cave. Suddenly he heard a voice cry out, "Quick, hurry up! There's someone under the tree. Come and take his jewels and his horse. Hurry, or else he'll slip away." The king was amazed. He looked up and saw a big brown bird on the tree under which he was sitting. He also heard faint noises issuing from the cave. He quickly got onto his horse and rode away as fast as he could. Soon he came to a clearing which looked like an ashram. It was the rishi's ashram. The king tied his horse to a tree and sat in its shade. Suddenly, he heard a gentle voice announce, "Welcome to the ashram, sir. Please go inside and rest. The rishi will be back soon. There's some cold water in the pot. Please make yourself comfortable." The king looked up and saw a big brown bird in the tree. He was amazed. "This one looks like the other bird outside the cave," he said to himself loudly. "You are right, sir," answered the bird. "He is my brother, but he has made friends with robbers. He now talks as they do. He doesn't talk to me any more." Just then the rishi entered the ashram. "Welcome, sir," he said to the king. "Please come inside and make yourself at home. You look tired. Rest for a while. Then you can share my food." The king told the rishi the story of the two birds and how each had behaved so differently though they looked so alike. "The forest is full of surprises," he said. The holy man smiled and said, "After all, one is known by the company one keeps. That bird has always heard the talk of robbers. He imitates them and talks about robbing people. This one has repeated what he has always heard. He welcomes people to the ashram. Now come inside and rest. I'll tell you more about this place and these birds." Standard 6, CBSE Board, Chapter 1, A Tale of Two Birds. Now this is a lovely story. It's about two little baby birds who lived with their mother in a tall tree in the forest. The mother bird used to take care of their little babies every day. She used to get food for them, she used to talk to them, teach them little things. And then one day, a very violent storm hit the forest. All the trees were shaking. The little birds were so scared. The mama bird took both the birds under its wing. But the storm was so violent that the tree fell off. When the tree fell, in trying to save her little babies, the mother bird died. She got crushed under the branch. The two little birds, they did not know what to do. They were very confused. One flew in one direction and the other flew in the other direction. Gradually, after a few days, the storm settled down. Both the birds started living where they are. They tried a lot to search for their other brother, but they were not able to. One was living on a tree near a cave, and the other was living on another tree near an ashram. Now one day, the king of that kingdom, he came to the jungle. He came to hunt. He was looking for a deer, and he spotted a deer. And he kept running behind the deer on his horse. He kept galloping behind the deer to be able to shoot it and catch it. But the deer was too swift for the king to get hold of him. The king got tired. Near a cave, he saw a tree. He tied his horse to the tree and he rested under the tree. While he was resting there, trying to fall asleep, he heard someone saying something. When he listened carefully, it was a bird saying, "Quickly, hurry up, there is a rich man here. Let us loot him. He has a lot of jewels on him. Oh, and he has a horse also. Come quickly before he gets away." And from the cave, the king could hear murmuring of some men. The king got quite scared. He sat on his horse and he ran away from there. Then he spotted another tree which was located near an ashram, and he tied his horse to that tree and rested under the tree. Again he heard a noise. It was the voice of a similar brown color big bird. But this time the bird was saying, "Welcome, you can rest here. There is some cold water in the ashram. You can drink that. The saint will be back soon. Take your rest here." Now the king was quite perplexed. He was very confused. That bird outside the cave also looked very similar to this bird. It was big brown bird. But that bird wanted to loot him. And here there is this bird. He wants to comfort him. While the king was still thinking this, the saint who used to stay in that ashram, he came back. And as soon as the saint saw the king, he welcomed him, he offered him water, he said, "You can lie on my couch for some time, and when you get up, both of us can share our food." The king asked the saint that this jungle is a very funny place. I was resting under that tree near the cave, and this bird was wanting his friends to come and loot me. They wanted to rob my jewels. And here again, when I was resting here, a similar bird wanted to comfort me. He was offering me water. What is the mystery behind this? The saint explained to him. He told him the story of the two birds who got separated from each other. And the king realized that the two birds were brothers. Each was the other's brother, but they had got separated when they were young. Now the king was again confused. If they are brothers, they are the babies of the same mother, then how come they are so different from each other? How come this bird was so bad to me, was not bothered about me, she wanted to rob all my jewels, and here there is this other bird who wanted to comfort me, who wanted me to rest. When they are brothers, how can they be so different from each other? Again the saint explained. He was a wise man, and he explained to the king, this little bird, since it was a baby, has been living on that tree near the cave. And in the cave lived the robbers. Now whatever the robbers used to talk about looting other people, about robbing the jewels, taking away the money and taking away the horses, that is what the little bird learned right from childhood, and that is what it has become. Its personality has become that. He is like a part of the robbers. And here on the other hand, this brother who has been staying on this tree which is next to the ashram, all along he has heard things from the saint, chanting the mantras, welcoming people, making them comfortable, offering them water. So that is what he has learnt. So that is what he has become. He has become a part of the ashram. So the king realized something very important in his life. And that exactly is the moral of the story that the author wants to put across. One, becomes the company that he keeps. Just because that little bird, innocent as a baby, landed there in between the robbers, he also became like a robber. And this same innocent baby landed here in the ashram of the saint, became like a saint. So the company that you keep, the friends that you have, the people with whom you move about, you gradually get so influenced by their thoughts and their talks, you become that. So it is very important to choose good friends. When you see something good in somebody, make him your friend. Become close to him, interact with him, get inspired by him. And when you see something bad in someone, stay away from that person. Do not try to pick up those wrong things. Do not give in to your temptations. That is the moral of this lovely story.
Choose the right kindergarten, a right bag, and matching bottle to go with. The right school, the right friends. Choose the right subjects and score well. Be an expert in all. The right teacher, and make sure that they like you. Choose the right timing, the right bus, and take a cab if getting late. The right train, and don't stand near the gates. Mind the pockets. Better get into ladies' compartment. Make sure your mustache hasn't started coming. Choose the right study time and forget games. IPL, IHL, rock and metal, guitar, axe. The right group and be a model to your brother. Seriously. Choose the right syllabus, the right test paper. Keep guessing questions for exams. Choose the right branch, the right college, the right stream. Choose the right career. Lucky to have a father's business to take care of and a father to allow that. The right counselor, the right form, and make sure the project is submitted on time. Choose the right website and rely on your friends for more information. Oblivious of the sites they have been to, there is no end to your woes. Getting better with every step you climb up the ladder. The summer vacation shorter, the bucket list bigger. The night darker, the books heavier. The only light you have is your friends ahead of you. Probably he is right. Ever thought how he got the direction? No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes. No more missing classes for rain, rally, and nonsense. Get your interest back in subjects through our creative ways of teaching. Doubts, concepts, applications, all explained through one vibrant animation. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Special programs only for basic foundation and paper analysis. Personality development, career counseling, admissions, hobbies, all covered. A new approach to study with long-term perspective. So sit back comfortably in your homes and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
The explanation of the chapter. Let us look at the new words that we have come across in this chapter. The first word is fortunately. Fortunately means luckily, by chance. A good fortune has come about and that's why I have attained this. So in the story the author tells us that fortunately the bird lands up on a tree next to the ashram. So by luck. The next word is gang. The meaning of gang is a collective noun which is gang of robbers. In the lesson he says that the other bird landed in a cave where a gang of robbers lived. So for robbers, the collective noun that we use is gang. So it is a group of robbers. So a group of robbers would be grammatically wrong. It should be a gang of robbers. Then the next word is slip away. When you have two words together and you are explaining the meaning, then it's not a word, it's a phrase. So slip away is a phrase which means to run away, to run off. So this word comes across in the lesson when the bird calls upon the robbers and says, "Come quickly before the stranger slips away." So before the king runs away with all his jewels and his horses, the robbers should come quickly and loot him. Then the next word is amazed. In the lesson, when the king is talking to the rishi, he says, "I am so amazed. This jungle is full of such strange happenings." So he is very surprised. He is confused. So the meaning of the word amazed is when you are so surprised that you are confused, you don't know, you are unaware about it. So amazed is surprised. The fifth word is rishi. He comes to the ashram of a rishi. A rishi is a saint, a holy person. A person who has left his family, who's staying in the jungle, staying in the mountains, chanting prayers the whole day. So he's a rishi, he's a saint, he's a holy person. So he comes to the ashram of a rishi. And the last word is imitates. When the rishi explains to the king why the two birds are behaving differently, he says that each one is imitating what they have heard since childhood. So the meaning of the word imitating is copying. They are mimicking, they are copying. Whatever they have heard, they are repeating it. So it is imitating. Just like we say a monkey imitates what we do. The cap seller had to throw away his cap. So the monkey would also imitate his action and throw away the cap. So imitate means to copy. Now that we have finished with the word meanings, let us proceed to the question answers based on the lesson. Now that we finished the explanation of the story, A Tale of Two Birds, let us look at the question answers that are based on this story. The first question is, how did the two baby birds get separated? How did they get separated? So it's a very simple one-line answer. The two baby birds got separated due to a storm that broke the tree and their nest, killing their mother. So you have to incorporate that there was a storm, the tree broke, their nest broke, and their mother died. So they got separated. You can write it in 3-4 sentences, or you can write one sentence containing all this. The second question is, where did each of them find a home? Where did each of them, each of the baby birds, where did they find a home? So this you have to write in 2 sentences. The first baby bird found a home in a tree near a cave, whereas the other baby bird found a home in a tree located near an ashram. Okay. The third question is, what did the first bird say to the stranger? Now who's the stranger over here that we are talking? We are talking about the king. So the first bird we have to remember is the one who stayed near the cave, who was rude to the king. And the second bird is the one who stayed near the ashram. This we have to remember. So when they are saying what did the first bird say to the stranger, the first bird told the stranger that he wants to rob him, and he told his other friends, the robbers, that they should come quickly and rob his horse and jewels. Now in the next question they are asking, what did the second bird say to him? To him meaning the stranger, the king. The second bird told the stranger to rest under the tree, take cold water from the ashram, and that the saint will be coming back soon. So these 3 points have to come. That he told him to rest, he told him that there is cold water in the pot in the ashram, and that the saint will be coming back soon. All these 3 points should be covered in your answer. Now in the next question they are asking, how did the rishi explain the different ways in which the birds behave? This is a little long answer. The rishi here is the saint. Whom is he telling? He is telling the king. He is telling the story of the two birds. So we have to say the rishi explained the different ways in which the bird behaved by telling him their story. He told him that the first bird stayed in the tree near the caves where lots of robbers lived, and so in their company the bird was repeating what it had heard since childhood. Whereas the other bird lived in a tree next to the ashram, and since childhood this bird had been hearing what the Rishi was saying and the prayers that he was chanting. Therefore, he was repeating what he has been hearing. So this is the explanation that the Rishi gave to the king about the different ways in which the two birds were behaving. Now the last question. In the last question they are saying, which one of the following sums up the story best? Sums up the story best means there are three proverbs actually which are given in the answer. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. One is known by the company one keeps. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So which one of these three proverbs gives us the summary of the poem, of the lesson, gives us the summary of the story? Sums up the story means tells us about the story. So for this question we have to know the meaning of all these three phrases first. The first one is, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Now the story behind this proverb is, if there is a man who has gone hunting, he is shooting birds, he wants to take some birds home and perhaps cook them and eat. If he has one bird in his hand and in a bush nearby he sees two birds, so he thinks, I have a gun, let me shoot both these birds. But while holding this one bird in his hand, he is not going to be able to shoot the two birds. So he will have to let go of this one bird that he has in his hand and then take aim and shoot at those two birds which are in the bush. But in doing so, he has let go of this bird that he already had, and when he is aiming and shooting, he may eventually not be able to catch a single one. So he loses out on all the three birds. So the proverb says, one bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So what you already have, the resources that you already have, you better count on them, not what you are planning to achieve in the future. Don't make your plans based on something that you think you will achieve in the future. Count on that which you already have. So is the story anyway remotely concerned with this kind of a proverb? Not at all. Now the second one is, one is known by the company one keeps. So one, that is one person, any person is known that he is a good person, or he is a bad person, or he is a polite person, or he is a rude person, or he is an evil person. So this adjective is added to a person depending on the kind of company he keeps. If you don't know someone very well, but if he is standing in a group of, say, children who are praying to God, then you obviously think that this person is a spiritual person. On the other hand, if you don't know somebody but he is standing in a group of boys who are hitting stones at birds, you think he is a naughty boy. So one is known by the company he keeps. So is this proverb related to the story? It is, because that bird was in the company of robbers. It started talking like robbers. And this bird was in the company of a rishi, and it started talking like a saint. So one is known by the company one keeps. And the third proverb is, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So the meaning of this proverb is that that person who is able to help his friend when the friend is in need, in requirement of the help, then that person is a friend indeed. Indeed meaning really, that person is really a friend. So is this proverb related to the story? No. So the answer to the sixth question will be the second proverb. One is known by the company one keeps. So with this we end the questions based on this chapter.
CBSE Board, Standard 6, A Pact with the Sun. Chapter 1, A Tale of Two Birds. There once lived a bird and her two newborn babies in a forest. They had a nest in a tall shady tree, and there the mother bird took care of her little ones day and night. One day there was a big storm. There was thunder, lightning and rain, and the wind blew down many trees. The tall tree in which the birds lived also came down.
A big heavy branch hit the nest and killed the bird. Fortunately for the baby birds, the strong wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. One of them came down near a cave where a gang of robbers lived. The other landed outside a rishi's ashram a little distance away. Days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day, the king of the country came to the forest to hunt. He saw a deer and rode after it. It ran deep into the forest, followed by the king. Soon the king lost his way and didn't know where he was. He rode on for a long time till he came to the other side of the forest. Very tired by now, he got off his horse and sat down under a tree that stood near a cave. Suddenly he heard a voice cry out, "Quick, hurry up! There's someone under the tree. Come and take his jewels and his horse. Hurry, or else he'll slip away." The king was amazed. He looked up and saw a big brown bird on the tree under which he was sitting. He also heard faint noises issuing from the cave. He quickly got onto his horse and rode away as fast as he could. Soon he came to a clearing which looked like an ashram. It was the rishi's ashram. The king tied his horse to a tree and sat in its shade. Suddenly he heard a gentle voice announce, "Welcome to the ashram, sir. Please go inside and rest. The rishi will be back soon. There's some cold water in the pot. Please make yourself comfortable." The king looked up and saw a big brown bird in the tree. He was amazed. "This one looks like the other bird outside the cave," he said to himself loudly. "You are right, sir," answered the bird. "He is my brother, but he has made friends with robbers. He now talks as they do. He doesn't talk to me any more." Just then the rishi entered the ashram. "Welcome, sir," he said to the king. "Please come inside and make yourself at home. You look tired. Rest for a while. Then you can share my food." The king told the rishi the story of the two birds and how each had behaved so differently though they looked so alike. "The forest is full of surprises," he said. The holy man smiled and said, "After all, one is known by the company one keeps. That bird has always heard the talk of robbers. He imitates them and talks about robbing people. This one has repeated what he has always heard. He welcomes people to the ashram. Now come inside and rest. I'll tell you more about this place and these birds."